Okay, so I've got the Ghost blogging software and I'd like to run it in a Docker container. Eventually I'd like to move that container to AWS, but for now I'm just going to run it on my own local machine. Now, one of the things I need to do is to understand how the Docker container writes to my local file system. So I've got to couple up the container with my local file system. So I'm in a folder here called Ghost that's just under my directory somewhere. And I've got two files. I've got a Docker file and a docker compose.yaml. And let's take a look at those. And so here's the docker compose.yaml. And in that I specify that I'm going to make a service called a blog. This can be called anything you like, but I'm going to get the latest Ghost image. I'm also going to map the ports so that I know the image writes to port 2368 and receives information on 2368 as well. But I'm going to map that to port 80, the global port 80. So in our browser, we're going to hit port 80. It's going to be mapped into the container through port 2368. Now, this is the important bit here. I'm going to specify that here's my file system. So users John source Ghost. That's where I am at the moment. So what I mean by that is that that's where I am at the moment here. Okay, so if I just do pwd, you'll see it's user John source Ghost. Okay, so that's why I've put that here. So I'm mapping now the Ghost in the container is going to write to this local directory. So this is in the container. It's got its own little operating system and data structure which starts var. And so that one now is going to be mapped to my physical directory of this machine so that it's going to actually be written here. Let's take a look. So at the moment here, if I look at Ghost, I don't have any directories. Yep. So let's I'm going to just show you the Docker file. So the Docker file basically is not really going to do much at all at the moment. Let's just go back with this one. And if I run it, so I do docker compose up, it's going to spin up the container. So it's got a container running. It says it's available on 2368, but we must remember we mapped that to port 80. So if I go to port 80 here, we'll see that actually we get to the site. And if I want to do some editing, I know that if I go to this directory, I can log in and edit that file. So we've got it running, and now the next stage, and it's writing. Well, let's just check. Let's break in here. Control C. Let's take a look now. Yep. Notice that it wrote this file content. If I go to content, there are three more files, and those are the three that I specified that it was going to write data into: apps, data, and images. Okay, so we've got it running on the local machine. Next time I'll come back and show you how it's running on AWS. Okay, that's it for now.